RID 2001, not the 2015 one, and not the Transformers Prime toy line, the 2001 So, isn't very popular. Not many people like it, not many people have even watched it. It's a English dub of one of the Japanese So's. It's called Car Robots, originally. And it's pretty light-hearted and pretty basic. But I think, overall, it does a much better job of what it sets out to do than newer shows that try to do the same thing. RID is a bit childish, a bit stupid. It doesn't really have any proper character development or proper overarching plot that isn't just stop Megatron. But the same makes it interesting with its characters and humor sometimes. Now, in Japan, the show took place in between season 2 and the movie of G1. In the dub, it's its own show. So in Japan, characters like Grimlock, Prowl, Optimus, Megatron and Ultra Magnus are different characters because all those other characters already exist in the universe as the G1 counterparts. But in the dub, they were all changed. So Fire Convoy is Optimus, Gold Magnus is Ultra Magnus, Gigatron is Megatron. I'm not sure about Prowl or Grimlock, but I do know that the names were different, and they're not really anything like the G1 counterparts anyway. So the show starts off with some kid's dad getting kidnapped, and for the first part of the show, that's practically the plot, to retrieve the kid's dad, who doesn't really mean much until they actually get him back. And after getting them back, the rest of the show is just stop Megatron. So, not the most in-depth plot, but not really, didn't really know what you expect from a Transformers, so even the best ones really have that as the main plot. But it works. The characters make it work. Now, as for the voice acting, no Peter Cullen, no Frank Welker or anything, but I think this is probably one of the best Optimus voices that's not Peter Cullen. The other Optimus voices try far too hard to sound so serious and edgy and gritty, and this Optimus just sounds much more natural. Maybe even more natural and more like Peter Cullen than Gary Chalk does. Well, Gary Chalk doesn't really exactly try to do a Peter Cullen impression. His Optimus voice is just Optimus Primal's voice, but slightly different. As for the rest of the cast, they're all mostly okay. They don't sound... If you go into it thinking you're going to get a brilliant voice acting performances like you have in Prime, or even G1 really, you're not going to get that, but a lot of the voice actors sometimes have a lot of fun with their lines and have good delivery, especially Skybite. And Ty is funny sometimes. Now, Skybite is like a highlight of the series. He's the best part. He's the best character, he's the funniest character, he's the most silly character. If you watch this show, you're going to watch it for Skybite. He is the best character. As for the other characters, unlike other Transformers shows, the Autobots outnumber the Decepticons and Predacons 1,000,000,000 in this show. Like, for the Decepticons, you have Scourge, and then you have Mega Octane, Rotor, Moval, Armorhide, and Robar. For the Predacons, you have Megatron, Skybite, Darkscream, Gastunk, and Swapper. Then for the Autobots, you have Optimus, Ultra Magnus, Fortress Maximus, Rail Spike, Midnight Express, Sideburn, Prowl, X-Brawn, Wedge, Grinrock, Hightower, Heavy Road, Rapid Run. That's not even it, there's even more than that. So there's a very big cast of Autobots, and not all of them get their time to shine. Tow Wire doesn't do much. He's in like one episode and a background role in another. But all the others mostly get that enough time in the spotlight. As for their characters, none of them are that interesting, besides a few. But the few that are good are pretty good. Skybite's a good character, Scourge is interesting. The Commandos are pretty cool, even though the design may not be very original. Sideburn is extremely annoying, but he can be entertaining. Gas Dunk sometimes has his time to shine, and Ultra Magnus is sort of cool sometimes. Now, the show never takes itself seriously, and people don't like it for that, but I think it does a much better job at being a bit of childish Transformers show than Cyberverse or Earthspark or RID. Those shows at times feel like they're tarnishing the brand and the entirety of Transformers. Well, RID definitely has its moments that you could consider extremely childish or cringy. Never does anything that truly sticks out as, what is this? Why is this here? Why is this Transformers? Like, in RID, yes, in RID, to the point where Bumblebee just becomes a 5-year-old, or Cyberverse, where Megatron becomes a streamer. There's nothing that stupid or ridiculous in RID, and I think it works to the show's favour very well, because it doesn't become annoying, it just becomes funny. One issue I have with the show would be that when Omega Prime is voiced by the voice actor who voices Megatron in the show, and I don't think he does a very good job. And when Optimus' voice is pretty good, I don't know why we just didn't get Optimus to voice Omega Prime or Ultra Magnus and just tell him to do the same voice or slightly different. Maybe try and combine the voices together in a funny way. I just don't like Omega Prime's voice. And that's really the only issue I would have with the voice acting. Animation wise, the show looks fine. It's 2D, and like the shows after G1, it does make use of the Umgo teleporting to another dimension to transform thing, which I used to hate, but now I don't really hate it too much. None of the combinations are like a minute long, so it's almost bad as something like Star Saber, but I'm sure that there's someone out there who gets triggered by those sequences. Now I'm sure a lot of people may go back to rewatch RID or watch it for the first time due to Legacy and Omega Prime, and what I'd say is I have a very unpopular opinion in loving the show as much as I do, but with how successful shows like Cyberverse and Earthspark are, I think people going back to RID now may like it a lot more, because Super Series Transformer shows are the only things we get now, and people have grown to like it and new fans are coming that like it. So hopefully RID gets a resurgence and people start liking it. You know, I feel like I was the only person who liked RID. It's not as hated as I'm making out, but not many people know of it. And if you say RID to someone, chances are they're going to think of the 2015 show. But that's a story for another time. I have a lot of thoughts on that show, but maybe another time. That's what I really wanted to say. Go watch RID if you haven't already, and if you hate RID, maybe give another episode or two a chance. It may not be the best Transformers show, it may not have the best stories or character development, but it's entertaining. And I think that's what matters. And I think it's aged a lot better than Cybertron and Armada are good shows, but they have not aged very well. And I think RID, though it's older, has actually aged a bit better. If you want to watch it, there is upscaled versions of it uploaded here and there on YouTube, which is good because before then no one could watch it. So thank you, Magnus After Dark, you have done the world a massive favour. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, whatever helps the algorithm.